Assalamu alaikum, dear students and viewers. Today, my topic is a beautiful poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost of class ninth. The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. Robert Lee Frost was born in 1874 and died in 1963. He was an American poet, was born in San Francisco, California. This well-known poem this well-known poem is about making choices and the choices that shape us. Two roads diverged two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. Poet says once he was walking down a road, and then there was a diversion of two roads. Was a diversion of two roads. There were different paths. There were two different roads, and he had to choose one to walk out of them. The poet feels sorry because he could not walk both the roads at the same time, as being a single traveler. Yellowwood means forest with leaves turned yellow in color because of autumn season. And be one traveler long I stood had and looked down one as far as I could, and be one traveler long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. The poet says that as he was one person, as he was one traveler, he could not travel on one he could travel on one road only at a time. He had to choose one out of these two roads, out of these two paths. The poet kept standing there for a long time to find correct road for himself, and looked at the path carefully as far as he could before walking the road. He wanted to know all about the road which he is going to walk. He was only able to see the path till from where it curved and disappeared because of trees and bushes. Then took the other as just as fear. Then took the other as just as fear, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grossy and wanted wear. Here the poet says that the poet kept on looking at one path for a long time to check whether the road is right or not for him, or not right for him, whether the road is right for him or not right for him. But the poet decided to walk on the another road because he felt it might be more satisfactory and more important for him. He felt that the path was better for him, so he chose it as it had grass on it, which means it was grassy, which means it was not traveled by much, means unused, means untouched, means traveled by less. And wanted wear means that it was not walked over by many people. Though as for that, though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And the poet says, after walking some distance, he realized that both the roads had been worn out the same way. They were looking similar. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no staff had trodden black, and both that morning equally lay and in leaves no staff had trodden black. The poet says that both the paths were similar, that morning both had leaves on them, and no one has tarnished the leaves of the path by their footsteps, as they were still in green, in still in same wear. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Here the poet says that he decided that at that very day, that day he would take one path and kept the other path for another day, yet knowing he could not come back, he could not go back on the choice that he had made in his life. I shall be telling this with a sigh. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages. Somewhere ages and ages. Here the poet says that in the future he will he will take a deep breath. He will take a deep sigh and see that once upon a time he had reached such a point, such a divergence, such a choice in his life, but he chose one. Two roads diverged in a wood, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And he would like to say that once in his life he was walking a road where he saw two choices, where he find two roads diverged, means two options, two choices for him, and he traveled on the road which had been traveled by less number of people, and that all have made, and that all decided that decision completely changed his whole life, and decided his future, and have made all difference in his life. It is all about the poem, paraphrase of the poem. Now, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Here look at the rhyming scheme of the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Look at the rhyming scheme. Would, could, stood, could. These three lines are rhyming, and both and lost line, undergrowth, these two lines are rhyming. So we can say A, B, A, A, B is the rhyming scheme in these lines. Okay, let us go to next stanza. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grossy and wanted wear. Though as for that the posing there, though as for that the posing there had worn them really about the same. Let's once again check the rhyming scheme. Fair, wear, there. These three lines are rhyming, and this one and lost one line, these two lines are rhyming. So once again, rhyming scheme is same: A, B, A, A, B. Okay. And both that morning equally lay, and in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Rhyming scheme is same as in previous stanzas. Lay, day, way. Okay, black, black, back, black, back. First line and third line and fourth line, these three lines are rhyming. Second line and last line, these two lines are rhyming. Okay, I shall be telling this with a sigh. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Sigh, I, by. These three lines are rhyming. That means now hence difference. Second line and last line, these two lines are rhyming. So B, A, A, B. That means the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, A, B. Okay. Rhyming scheme of the poem. The rhyming scheme of the poem is A, B, A, A, B. Okay. Major themes of the poem. The poem comprises uncertainty and perplexing situation of the minds of people about what they may face when standing on the verge of making choices. It is because life is full of choices, and the choices we make define the whole course of our lives. The poem is written in cantate. Quintet means five-lined stanza is called quintet. A five-line stanza is called a quintet. A group of two lines is called a couplet. A group of three lines is called a tercet, and a four-line stanza is a quatrain, and five-line stanza is a quintet, and two other common lengths are sestet and octave. Imagery. Imagery is used to make the readers feel things through their five senses. The poet has used images of their sense of sights such as leaves, yellow woods, and these images help readers to actually pursue things they are reading, and the image of the road helps readers to visualize the road, providing a navigation route to the traveler. Simile. A simile is a device used to compare things with similar things to let the readers know it easily. There is one simile used in the second stanza, such as just as fear. It shows how the poet has linked the road less traveled easy way to the easy way through life. Personification. Robert Frost has personified road in the third line of the second stanza. Here, where, here, here. It is stated here. It is stated because it was grossy and wanted wear, as if the road is human and that it wants to wear and tear. Alliteration is also there in this poem. Alliteration is the repetition of say initials consonant sound. Do is for that, the pausing there. Do is for that, the pausing there had warned them really about the same. It's all about the poem. Thank you. Cooperation and patience.